Bacteria is a microscopic, single-cell organism that live in soil, ocean, and inside human gut. Bacteria has been discovered by a scientist named Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, who observed a low-temperature electron micrograph of a cluster of E. coli bacteria. So they are considered as living organisms as they can produce their own energy and can reproduce by their own. So virus is an infectious agent that multiply only in living cell of animal, human, and plant. Virus has been discovered by a scientist named Adolf Meyer. So he demonstrated a tobacco plant disease, which is named by tobacco mosaic disease. This disease can be transferred from a diseased plant to a healthy plant using a plant extract. So virus is not classified as living organism as they only active within their host cell that they need to reproduce.
Now move on to the differences between viruses and bacteria. Viruses are considered as non-living organisms while bacteria are considered as living organisms. Viruses are acellular and they are not able to metabolize, while bacteria are unicellular organisms and they are capable to metabolize. Viruses reproduce by invading into a host cell and take over the protein-making machinery and causing it to make copies of viral DNA or RNA, which will be released to enslave more cells. While bacteria undergo asexual reproduction called binary fission, and they can generate energy, make their own food or move, which allow them to live in a variety of places. Viral infection like influenza, the flu, and polio that is common in children can be prevented through vaccination, while bacterial infection such as bacterial vaginosis that causing itchiness or inflammation can be prevented through antibiotics.
Hi, my name is Nur Ain Nadhirah binti Abdul Ghafar. Now, let's move to the similarities between bacteria and virus. Virus and bacteria can be found in ecosystem and cannot be seen by unaided vision. So, it only can be seen through light microscope and by staining. Next is ability to cause a disease. Both can cause a disease, but majority, the most dangerous one is the virus. They can be spread the disease in the similar ways. They invade and multiply within the host by evading the immune system. Both are harmful but can be used for other purposes, such as for make a vaccine. They share the common symptoms such as fever, bronchitis, ear infection, and pneumonia. Both can be transmitted with exposed to body fluid, close contact with an infection person, mother to child transmission during childbirth. Both do not have nucleus, contain enzyme and genetic material, possibility to be vaccinated, and both are virulent, which they have pathogen ability to infect a resistant host.
Now I will talk about coronavirus, or we can call it COVID-19. A coronavirus is a common virus that causes an infection in your nose, sinuses, or upper throat. Most coronaviruses are not dangerous. In early 2020, after December 2019 outbreak in China, the World Health Organization identified SARS-CoV-2 as a new type of coronavirus. It is quick spread around the world. COVID-19 is a disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 that can trigger our respiratory tract infection. It is one of 7 types of coronaviruses, including the ones that cause severe diseases like Middle East Respiratory Syndrome (MERS) and Sudden Acute Respiratory Syndrome (SARS). The best way to prevent and slow down the transmission of COVID-19 is to protect ourselves. We have to be responsible to always wear masks and hand sanitizer every day. COVID-19 spread primarily through droplets of saliva discharged from the nose when an infected person coughs or sneezes. So, the symptom of COVID-19 is quite common like any other influenza, such as fever, coughing, shortness of breath, fatigue, chills sometimes with shaking, body aches, headache, sore throat, loss of smell or taste, nausea, and diarrhea. And those with underlying medical problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer are more likely to develop serious illness when they're infected with COVID-19. Both influenza and COVID-19 are both contagious spreading respiratory illness, but there are some differences based on how it gets spread. It also takes longer before people show symptoms and people can be contagious. It is for COVID-19. And also for both influenza and COVID-19, they both need different vaccine, but there is no vaccine to prevent COVID-19 yet. And sometimes it's hard to differentiate between flu and COVID-19, so it is need to be tested by a medical expert as soon as possible when the individuals get the symptoms of COVID-19.
So, we have looked through several points about bacteria and viruses, like the similarities and the differences, and a bit of introduction for each of the topic. So, as a conclusion, I want to add a little bit more about this topic, which is human illnesses are caused by the infection of bacteria and virus. Thus, we need to take a certain measure to prevent ourselves from getting sick or to prevent the virus itself from spreading, like the COVID-19 we are having right now. So that's us. That's all for today from us. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.